Let's actually talk about another game we didn't quite talk about. We were hoping we'd have a more favourable result coming in from the beautiful part of the Caribbean. But while a great performance from the Indian girls up to the semi-finals, it has to be second best against an England side who have always been there in that stage.
Oh well, they've been one of the better sides. England, you talk about Australia, New Zealand, India in this format have been struggling off late. Not off late, actually throughout. They haven't had a great amount of success in the shortest format. They were brilliant in the last 50 over World Cup. Lost the finals to England once again. But this time around, there's a lot of chatter about somebody not playing, and that's Mithali Raj, who was not picked. But I think you got to hear the other side of the story as well, what exactly transpired, why she was not picked, because she did not play the earlier game as well. What's there in the team management's think tank, what's going behind there, because I think they've taken a call based on what they thought was right for the team. And for once, I think that Indian cricket has actually gone beyond reputations, and they have really just discarded the emotions. They've discarded the reputations. They've gone with what they felt was right on the day. Didn't turn out to be right. Decisions are not good or bad. Eventually, the result tells you whether they were. But I'm actually with Harmanpreet Kaur and Romesh Pawar. I think what they did, if it had turned out right, was something exemplary.
But even Mithali, on the field of play, you know this is the next generation. She's almost set to pass the baton to these young girls, and they showed against Australia that they have it in them to beat the best in the world on the biggest stage. Fearless.
Absolutely. No, this team is fearless. This is a very young team. It's a developing team. This team will only get better in the future. They have a lot of power. They have a lot of new players coming through. I'd like to see a couple of more fast bowlers, but their spin attack is absolutely spectacular. They have all of it, and this is the core of a very good side for the next 7-8 years. This is the passing of the baton literally in women's cricket in India, and I completely agree with him in the sense that there are two sides to every decision, and as long as the decision is made on the basis of the side and the position and the conditions rather than because of individuals, I think it's a good decision, whether it's the right or the wrong decision, because you can't get every decision right. You can get the process right, and they got the process right. And there's a lot, you see, putting her, if you open her, the other thing that he said, and that's a very justified point, that if you knew what the pitch was about, if it was everyone knew it was 100, 120, 130 pitch, maybe they would have played her, saying that she's the right kind of person with the patience to go through. If they thought it was a 160, 170 pitch, they wouldn't have picked her.
And that's exactly what they thought, I'm pretty sure. They just got that judgment of that pitch right, but then reading a pitch, making a pitch is not perfect science.
Yeah, and it was one of those. Anya Shabsole was not the main weapon from England's point of view, and it was Heather Knight, in fact, who picked up 3 wickets for 9 runs off her 2 overs. Nothing for Anya Shabsole, who looked invincible against the West Indies in that last league game. And then it was, despite losing 2 early wickets, England women taking it home with their wicketkeeper and Nat Siver picking up half centuries each and just making it look a lot easier than even 17.1 suggests.
And India actually got off to a good start. They just capitulated. They lost how many?
28 and 25 odd.
Correct. So when you lose so many wickets, you can't really be thinking about who's playing and who's not playing, or rather who's not playing, because it's more about people who are playing and applying themselves. So that is one thing. The application bit, they could have done a lot better, and that's exactly what postmortems are all about. You start pointing fingers and picking mistakes, but that's something that they could have done differently. Within the same setup, they could have batted differently. You don't really have the time to recover from a collapse in a T20 game. So that's something, as Joy mentioned, young team, they'll learn, they'll get better from this.
Yes, the runouts also didn't help, as we can see from those visuals.
See, I have one more point to say. I'm just so delighted that we're sitting out here and discussing women's cricket, and everybody knows a lot about it. There's outrage on Twitter about women's cricket. This wouldn't have happened 3-4 years back. So I think we've come to a stage where the game at least has advanced that much further. It's come into our consciousness. We're talking about it. And these results, these are emotional results, but these make us feel so much. There's at least people know what's happening. For you to get angry in the game means you have skin in the game. And that's important for me to see all those reactions on Twitter, whether I agreed with them or didn't agree with them, was the fact that people cared about Indian women's cricket. And that's the best story at all.
Hashtag WIPL. Let's have it.
Yes, why not?
Let's have it.
We know at least 2 of our leading girls are already in the Big Bash down in Australia.
Correct.
Rubbing shoulders with the best.
And in England. So if they're sought after in the world market as well, why not have it at home? May not be an 8-team affair, or have a 4-team affair, have a 6-team affair. Do whatever it takes. Women IPL, the time is here.